Factor the polynomial completely. 9x to the third plus 12x to the second minus 3x. 9, 12, and 3 are multiples of 3. X cubed, x squared, and x are multiples of x. So the greatest common factor is 3x. 3 times 3 gives us 9. X times x squared will give us x cubed. 3 times 4 is 12, and x times another x is x squared. 3x times a minus 1 will give us a negative 3x. So now we have to check to see if we can factor the trinomial even further into two binomials. We're going to keep our common factor, and then 3x times another x will give us 3x squared when you multiply the first and the first. And then when you multiply the last and the last, you're supposed to get a negative 1. So the factors of negative 1 are going to be positive 1, negative 1. And you could also use a negative 1 and then a positive 1. So we're going to use trial and error here. So let's check the outer and the inners, because the outer and the inners are supposed to combine to give us a positive 4x. So in this case, that gives us a negative 3x, gives us a positive 1x, and that combines to give you a negative 2x, which is not the middle term. So we're going to switch around the signs. So this is going to be minus 1, plus 1. So when you multiply the outers, the 3x is going to become positive 3x. And the 1x is going to become negative 1x. But the only thing that does, it only changes the 2x into a positive 2x, which is still not the middle term. So what does that mean? That means we cannot factor any further than just taking out the greatest common factor. And I'll give you a quick way to check to see if you can factor even further. Once you get to this spot, all you have to do is multiply the coefficient of the x squared times the constant, and that gives you negative 3. And then if you can find factors of negative 3 that add up to a 4, then you can factor it more. So in this case, the factors of negative 3 are 1 times negative 3 and negative 1 times positive 3. And then when you combine these, you end up with a negative 2 and a positive 2. So this is another way of doing the guess and checking that we did over here on the side, so that if you can find a pair of numbers that add up to the middle number, then that means you can factor it more.